good run for us. Didn't end the way we wanted it to end, but it was a good run for the 2023 Texans. Now, for me, it's a clean slate. We start over 2024. Now, who are we going to be, right? And we have a lot of great matchups versus a lot of great teams this year, and I'm excited to, first off, build our team again the proper way, of guys who are just looking to compete, guys who have that relentless mindset, guys who want to go out, play for each other, guys who want to hunt, guys who want to play with relentless effort and finish. Like, that's what I'm looking to build as we start this offseason.
When you look at the rest of the team, how much does that sort of emphasize what you just said, like you're going to play a good team? It feels like a division is much deeper.
Yeah, our division is definitely really good. You think about the young quarterbacks in our division. With the Colts, the Jags, right, the Titans, and us, we all have really young quarterbacks who all have bright futures. And so really 4 really good teams in our division. Is going to be a battle each and every week that we play each other. But I'm excited about it, right? You want to play against really the top competition to see where you stack up, right? And I'm excited to see our team, right, develop and grow throughout the year and see where we end up.
Coach, what did y'all think about kind of Devin Singletary breaking out a little this year? And are y'all interested in bringing him back?
Yeah, very pleased with Devin. I remember sitting in a free agent visit with Devin, and just, man, his personality, his demeanor, it was a guy I knew I wanted to work with right away. Right, Devin is made of the right stuff. He's a hard worker. He's a leader. He shows up every day in practice with a great attitude, and the guys around him feed off of that. Right, so Devin was a great guy. We'll see what happens in free agency, but would love to have Devin back just because of what he brought to our team. He was definitely a bright spot for us in that running back room.
To piggyback off Aaron's question on CJ, when you reflect back a year and look at some of the key components you put in place to foster the development of a rookie quarterback, what do you think some of those were to facilitate his growth?
Good conversations, great feedback.
When we talk about his growth, I think it starts with the coaches that you surround him with. So we surrounded him with some young coaches, young talented coaches, and Bobby Slowick, Gerard Johnson, also veteran coaches, and Bill Laser and Shane Day, who's no longer with us. But we just surrounded him with the right guys in the coaching position, but also in his room, right? Having Case Keenum there, a veteran quarterback who's done it at a high level for a long time. So making sure that we have that balance around CJ. So if there's any questions, any things that he may ask or things that he can lean on guys who've been there, done that, have seen that before, right? There was not a guy around him that he couldn't ask, he couldn't rely on, who can give him the answers and can share with them their experiences of how they've seen other quarterbacks, right, succeed in this league.
Coach, what was it like working with Bobby Slowick? I mean, he had an amazing year, and just obviously at some point in the future, he's going to become a head coach. Just what's your thoughts on Bobby Slowick and how was it working with him?
I thought Bobby did a really great job being a first-year coordinator. Everybody is kind of hesitant when you have a first-year coordinator, and nobody knows truly what to expect. But for me, knowing Bobby and knowing how detailed he is in his preparation, right, how prepared he is, how he gets his coaches prepared, the way he teaches, like it showed up on the film, and I'm happy for Bobby that he was able to garner the success that he truly deserves, right? And Bobby's success doesn't happen without the players. So I never lose sight of this game is about the players, and it will always be about the players. As coaches, we're just here to assist the players, right, and support them in any way we can. But Bobby doesn't have that success without getting the right players and the players performing at a high level.
In that calm, confident demeanor that CJ had, what were some early indications that was his personality? That's what it's doing.
Well, it started right here at the Combine, right? When you were evaluating young players, right, you see CJ come into our room in the formal interviews and just see, he had that calmness about him, right, in the room. And you can tell, for me, I can tell instantly, like, if a guy, has what it takes. And I saw that in CJ when he first sat down and he began to speak to us about his background, right, and his college experience. And then you see, right, his teammates and how they spoke about CJ. I remember being here last year, and every Ohio State teammate that sat in our room, they spoke highly of CJ and the type of leader he was and what he meant to them and the things that he did to those guys to help them. So it's you can't hide, right? Your true character always will show, and it showed that CJ was a really great guy, raised the right way, and he was the same guy throughout the entire year. He didn't change, right? And that's true testament to his upbringing, his family, his parents, and the way they raised him.
You guys already have a solid foundation at the wide receiver core with Tank and DeMeco, but when you start to revamp that position, what are some of the qualifications you would like to add?
Yeah, with the receiver position, we're looking for guys who are separators, right? Who can separate, who can find a way to get open, right? And if you have that one redeeming quality that you can separate, right, that's what we're looking for. Especially that shows up on third down, right? How do you win third down? How do you stay on the field as an offense, right, and continue to produce and move the ball down the field? It's about third down, right, and being able to convert. And the way you convert is guys who are savvy enough to find a way to always get open.
What do you think of the job that Shane Steichen did? Fellow first-year head coach last year, maybe what stood out to him about play calling?
Yeah, Shane did a really nice job. I remember going against him our second game. He did a really nice job. Even you see a coach who's able to adapt, even though he lost his starting quarterback and Anthony Richardson. Right? I mean, the backup comes in and Minshew does a really great job, and he was able to sustain that throughout the entire year. So I think that speaks highly to the coaching and the coaching staff and the guys you have around him. So, I mean, credit to Shane, did a really good job without having his starting quarterback, and we were able to, come here to Indy and have a matchup there to make the playoffs. So it's really credit to him. I always thought highly of Shane. He's back in Philly, right, going against him as a play caller. He's always done a really great job of keeping you off balance, right, and really attacking like what you give him. He tries to take advantage of what you give him and not always going for the big play, but he's very smart in how he approaches his game planning.
Coach, you and Nick.
Well, bringing back Bobby and Gerard, I think it helps with the continuity of our offense, right? With a young quarterback, young players around them, you want to continue to build on what those guys did this year. So I'm happy to not go into a new season here and we have to worry about, right, installing a new offense, right, or learning new terminology. So now we can hit the ground running. We can really build off of what we did, look at through our self-scout the things that we did well, things that CJ did well, and how can we continue to put him in those positions to succeed.
Coach, on last year, you and Nick really, hit the lottery when it came to drafting CJ and Will. How do you all follow that up this year?
Wow, that was an exciting draft last year to be able to get two of the top players in the draft class last year, to get CJ and Will and two anchors for our team, for our locker room. That was very important for us to get both guys. How do we follow that up this year? We continue to add guys who fit the Texans culture, and that's guys who are made of the right mindset, guys who have that relentless mindset, guys who are true competitors, guys who love football, guys who love pushing their teammates to be their best, guys who want to be the best at what they do, right? We add those type of players to our locker room. That's how we follow up a great draft last year.
When you that are free agents that you've already had in the building, in an evaluation process, how much of an advantage do they have versus you maybe being able to evaluate a free agent against another team and a guy's already been in the building? And how do you kind of weigh that in the process of figuring out who to bring back or who to maybe?
Right. When you talk about free agents, when you have that firsthand look of the guys who you've spent day after day with, you know them. You know their strengths. You know their weaknesses. Right. You know everything about the player. You know how they are when things get hot and heavy. Like, how do they handle it? So I think there is an advantage to, man, I know exactly who this guy is. I know exactly how he will respond, as opposed to reaching for someone you may on another team that you may not have much info about. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's like while we're here at the Combine, we're trying to gather as much information on these players and their backgrounds as much as we can to identify who they are as a person, right? And in the free agency process, it kind of gets sped up, and sometimes you miss out on truly figuring out, man, who is this person that we're bringing into our building? So for me, it's always person over player, right? And bringing the right person in is of high importance to me.
Things that Dalton Schultz did as a first-year guy for you all, with a veteran tight end, that makes the interest between you guys and him are mutual. If you could, obviously, it all comes back.
Right. Yeah, Dalton did a really nice job for us in the passing game. When those 2-minute drives where we were able to win a few games, Dalton really showed up in a situational football third down. He showed up making big catches for us. So we'll see what happens with Dalton in free agency, but I'm very, very proud of what he did for us last year.
DeMeco, when you look at the evaluation of linebackers, Christian Harris, his development from year 1 to year 2, and also you look at guys like Greg Greenlaw at the corner, what's the limit for a guy like Christian Harris?
Sky's the limit for Christian. Christian is one of the fastest linebackers that I've had a chance to work with. Very explosive, instinctive player. So I'm excited. I see last year as Christian's rookie year. That was his first year, and I'm excited to see him build off of what he did last year.
As a head coach, how do you go about sort of scouting potential assistant coaches and keeping up with the pipeline from college and high school coaches around the league? And is that something that's challenging for a head coach to kind of know where the young smart?
Yeah, it is. It's challenging to keep up with the coaches, but I think with me and how do you evaluate those coaches, you really rely on those people that they've been with, right? Coaches that they've been around and guys they have experience with, and you just want to learn how they are as workers, like how dedicated are those guys to perfecting their craft, right? Are they guys who have no ego and they're willing to do whatever it takes to just help the team? And I think that's how you truly define, right, good young assistant coaches. I tell coaches all the time, are you the best at what you do? Or are you looking to pursue something else, right, inside of doing the best job that you have, right? If you're coaching the tight ends, are you the best tight end coach? Are you a QC? Are you the best at breaking down information or getting the information to the coaches? Just be faithful over a few things and you'll get blessed with more.
The only way to do that, is there a way to go outside of, you know someone who knows someone who knows someone, and be able to evaluate someone who might be really smart and hungry and want it, but who doesn't know the same people, and for you to kind of know that they can help you too?
I think it comes a lot. Also with coaching, it comes to with our scouting department who's on the road. They go to colleges and they see coaches. They're at practices, so they see these coaches actually in action, working with the young players, and that's where I gain a lot of insight from our scouts, our college scouts who are on the road, to see, man, how was this guy in his drills, right? And that speaks highly to me, and I gain a lot of information from our college scouts. All right. Hey, what's up, buddy?
So I wanted to ask, obviously having such a successful season this year, do you think that more GMs around the league are going to add former players to their coaching staff?
Yeah, for me, with the success we've had, I'm excited to see more former players step into coaching, right, and become head coaches, because there are a lot of talented players, former players who've done it at a high level, guys who understand the game, guys who can connect and relate with players, and guys who can lead. So I would love to see even more former players step up and become head coaches, and I think you saw that, in this hiring cycle with Antonio Pierce, with Jared Mayo, most guys are getting those opportunities, right? And I'm excited to see those guys be successful as well. All right. Thank you, guys. All right.